Welcome back to another episode of Playmakers. I'm Riley Kramer, and we have a lot to highlight today, from Kansas sports all the way to the Australian Open. Caroline Soro will start us off after the intro.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Caroline Soro. A lot has happened this week in the world of sports. Let's take a look. The 2020 Pebble Beach Pro-Am Tour concluded Sunday. American Daniel Berger secured his fourth career PGA Tour win with a 31-foot eagle putt on hole 18 of the fourth round that catapulted him to the winning score of 18 under par. Five-time Pro Bowler and three-time Defensive Player of the Year award winner J.J. Watt announced his mutual split with the Texans Friday. Though it will not be hard for Watt to find his next landing spot, this decision shocked the NFL world, to say the least. Trevor Lawrence, number one prospect in the 2021 NFL Draft, had his pro day Friday. Lawrence had a 52-throw workout in front of Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer and 16 other NFL teams. Lawrence's pro day took place so early because he wanted to get it done before having surgery on his left shoulder labrum. The Philadelphia Eagles traded former number 2 overall pick Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts Thursday morning for nothing but a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-round pick. Philly parted ways with a 28-year-old quarterback and decided to put faith in the young Jalen Hurts, who will likely be the starter next season. Warriors guard Steph Curry has made history in the team's last 10 games. He is the first guard since Michael Jordan to score 25 or more points in 10 consecutive games while shooting at least 50% from the field. Curry's been averaging 34.6 points per game for the past month and has been on fire from behind the three-point line. He tied James Harden's NBA record for making 4 or more three-pointers in 13 consecutive games and currently leads the league with having 10 or more three-pointers made in 16 games. Lakers big man Anthony Davis strained his calf in the team's loss to the Nuggets Sunday. An MRI concluded that Davis did not rupture his Achilles tendon. His status will be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks, likely after the All-Star break. The Cavaliers will not play two-time All-Star Andre Drummond amid trade talks before the NBA's trade deadline on March 25th. Players like Draymond Green and other sources deem the Cavs' treatment of Drummond to be unfair. Finding a team to match the magnitude of Drummond's contract won't be easy, but the Cavs have to make a decision before the deadline. That's all I have for this week's Pro Sports Recap. Stay tuned for today's show as we have Riley in the studio with the Freshman 4, Pick M with Playmakers, and a special 2-minute warning with Emma House. But before we get to that, let's send it over to Jalen Coven and Andrew Lind for the top plays of the week.
Yeah, that's right, Caroline. My name is Andrew Lind.
And I'm Jalen Colvin. This week, we will be highlighting the top 3 plays from the NBA.
And don't forget, Jalen, we have a bonus play spotlighting a former Jayhawk. Let's get started. Coming in at number 3, this week we head to Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks hosted the Hawks Monday night. In this play, we have the vet Derrick Rose easily showing the young and Trae Young who's the real hooper. Let's check it out. Rose with the half spin past his defender while still finishing in the lane with style. It is nice to see that he still has the moves at 32 years old. Jalen, what you got in the number 2 spot for us?
Yeah, Andrew, it gets even better. Coming in at number 2, we have John Morant defending his home court with some amazing teamwork as Morant ended the night with yet another triple-double, letting everyone know he's just getting started. Let's take a look. Grizzlies have the defense scrambling, leaving the lane open. Morant with the ball looks into the paint, catches Brandon Clark on the drive, and hits him with the alley-oop. And he pairs it with a big slam.
Clark with the authority. That was sweet.
Not only was Minnesota's Anthony Edwards the number 1 draft pick, but he also holds this week's number 1 spot. He may only be 19, but he's shown time and time again he's here to stay. Now it's time to reveal the top play of the week. Edwards brings the ball up the floor, quick hesitation, then drives the ball in the lane and does what only he could do, an outstanding finish.
That was pretty awesome, but you know, Jalen, I think I could guard that.
Most definitely not, Andrew.
Speaking of outstanding though, let's break down the Jayhawk Play of the Week, featuring class of 2013 standout and now Rockets player Ben McLemore. Just look at that. What a beautiful play from start to finish. Now, let me break it down. As you can see, McLemore sets an off-ball screen for John Wall before catching the ball and doing a series of pump fakes to create separation, before gliding to the rim where he finishes through contact. It doesn't get much better than that, Jalen.
Andrew, you are right. I do not think it gets much better than that. For Andrew and I, thank you for joining us. If you want to join in on our Play of the Week, be sure to tag Playmakers KU on Twitter using the hashtag PlaymakersPlays. After this short break, Riley will be in the studio with KU's track and field freshman 4. Stay tuned.
As KU track indoor season comes to a close and outdoor season is about to begin, we've constantly been hearing about a group of freshmen that have made an early impact on the team's success. Here with me today, I have Cameron Wilmington, Angelina Arinze, Jabrandian Douglas, and Amaya McKeithen to give us the inside scoop on everything freshman 4. So, Angelina, how did you guys get the name of freshman 4?
It's actually a funny story. So one day after practice, we were sitting in our usual spot together, and our coach came up to us and said, "You're always together. We should probably give you a name." And I think she said something like Fabulous 4, and we were like, nah. But JD actually came up with the name, I believe.
Yeah, once coach started throwing names out, we all decided that none of them were going to work. So I decided to I kind of came up with my mind. I said freshman 4, and then I just said it out loud, and then everybody kind of agreed, and then that was it.
I really love the name freshman 4. I wish I could have come up with that myself, honestly. So, Jabrandian, what made you choose KU, and did COVID-19 impact this decision?
Yes, it did actually. Well, I'm from Lawrence. I've lived here for about 14 years now, so I always wanted to stay close to my family. So KU was kind of like the ideal choice, and then COVID-19 kind of helped it with me wanting to be safer and being around my family more. So it was just easier to pick KU.
As we know, COVID has impacted a lot of decisions this year. So, Cameron, has COVID impacted your freshman expectations for the season?
Coming to KU, I didn't expect COVID-19 to be a part of this, so it's really made me have to focus harder. You know, there's no fans in the stands, no one to cheer you on, but you still have your teammates. But like I said, you really have to get your mind in check, focus on what you're doing, and believe in yourself.
Cameron, you mentioned the track atmosphere changing. Amaya, what are your thoughts on the changes due to COVID-19 this year?
Like Cam said, at the meets, it's never it's no one in the audience. So most of the time, it's just us and our teammates. So it's kind of hard getting used to wearing our mask all day. You basically take the mask off when you're on the line. So that took a lot of adjusting. But outside of that, I think it's a little better to focus. But running track for so long, it's a different feeling.
So where do you guys hope to see yourself by senior years, such as goals and accomplishments?
I hope to see myself still running track senior year. Like I said, I don't know if I want to take this farther after senior year, but for sure, for right now, I'm going to make this the best I can because, you never know what you're going to get, just like when COVID-19 came. But I'm just going to make the best out of it for right now.
Well, now that we've covered the hard questions, let's see how well the freshman 4 truly know each other with our new game, Bucket List Questions Track Edition. How the game works is you'll pass around the bucket and pull out a question to ask one of your teammates to answer. Let's get started with Cameron.
Okay, JD, if you could race against any Olympic runner, who would it be, and do you think you could beat them?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'm going to pick. I'm gonna pick 2 runners. I'm gonna pick Tyson Gay and Usain Bolt. I think I get Tyson, but I'm not gonna challenge the GOAT right now for Usain, so that's my choice.
All right. Amaya, what drives you to get up in the morning and go to training every day?
Honestly, it's just, goals set for myself. Me wanting to become someone, get stronger, get faster. So it's just more so like knowing that treatment plays a big role in being a good athlete, and also just understanding that every day that you go to practice is a day that you're getting better. So I basically just try to get up every morning so I can become a better athlete.
Okay, let's see. Cameron, who was your biggest inspiration?
Ooh, my biggest inspiration. I have a lot, but for sure I would have to. I have many inspirations, but I would say it'd have to be people in my family. My dad, for sure, he's always been there for me. Got me to where I am right now through all the pain and crying he's always here. And I would say my grandparents. There have been times where I've just been like I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like I'm really having bad thoughts, and they've always been there to cheer me up. Like why I do this, and I don't know. They just helped me a lot, and I feel that those are my biggest inspirations.
Okay. Angelina, who within the group has the best warm-up playlist?
I mean, I would say myself, but I don't think I'm an option. So we're going to go with Amaya.
Yeah.
Broadway, all the way.
Yeah.
Well, this was really fun. It looks like you guys know each other pretty well. I can't wait to see where the freshman four will be by senior year. We might have to run this interview back when you guys are the senior four. Thanks for joining us, freshman four. Last week, we highlighted Gabe Daniels' sports podcast. This week, we want to spotlight a neighboring show, Take a Side. Jacob Polacek sat down with Brady Silverwood about his latest run across Costa Rica. Check it out.
The Costa Rica one, it was far less days, but the miles per day were a lot higher. So I probably averaged like 25 miles a day in Costa Rica, even though I think the last 7 run I did, I think 7 back-to-back marathons. So I was just putting in the miles in Costa Rica. So my body was really exhausted. But the US one, you're just talking about the days, man. It's you could easily, I think they're both tough. I'm not going to sit here and say running a country is easy just because it isn't. There's a lot of mental focus that you need to have to do it. But the USA one, I'll tell you that if I slacked off or lost focus and really got distracted during it, it really set me back.
You can check out Take a Side on Tuesday at 9 a.m. It's been a busy week in sports with tennis starting, basketball back in their groove, and women's basketball coming up on a big weekend. Let's kick it to our new segment, Pick 'em with Playmakers.
Thanks, guys. While pro sports have been fun to watch throughout this past week, KU sports have had their own share of highlights and exciting moments.
That's right, Jackson. In terms of KU sports, the school has been playing well on all fields of play. Out on the tennis courts on Wednesday, the Jayhawks won the day over the Wichita State Shockers by a score of 4-3.
Excited to see the start of the tennis season, but while tennis season is beginning, KU's women's basketball season is coming to an end. With 5 games left in the season, the Lady Jayhawks have fought through every game, and Wednesday night they faced off against Iowa State. And at halftime, the game was close, 38-34.
It was close to finish out as well, but the Cyclones took care of business as they held off the Jayhawks 84-82, despite Zakiya Franklin posting up a career 26 points. Jackson, all of this has been leading up to a great weekend of KU athletics. What do you got on the slate for us?
Well, this weekend we have a doubleheader. Both KU women's and men's basketball teams will be facing off against Texas Tech. Zane, do you have more on that?
Before we go ahead and talk about the weekend doubleheader, it was the Battle of Kansas in Manhattan on Wednesday night.
Right you are, Zane. KU and K-State fought, and Kansas came out on top, winning 59-41.
The Big 12 newcomer of the week, Jalen Wilson, had himself a game with 11 points and 9 rebounds on Wednesday, and senior Marcus Garrett led the way, scoring 14 points. Kansas also had held the Wildcats to 31% shooting overall and 3 of 24 from the three-point line.
Now we can take a look closer to this weekend with our new segment we like to call Big 12 Pick'ems. Let's start with Jackson and Logan and their women's basketball picks.
Thank you, Gus. Our first matchup today is between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Both teams are definitely on the struggle bus as of late, but I've got to go with Tech in this one, especially considering that they took down the Hawks in Lawrence in their first matchup.
I understand the pick, but I'm going to have to take the upset and take the Jayhawks to win on the road. Although the record may not show the whole story, if this Kansas team can make shots the way they did on Wednesday night against the Cyclones, they can compete with a lot of teams and definitely take down the Red Raiders.
It's an excellent point there, Logan. Our next game will be Baylor versus Oklahoma in another Big 12 clash. For me, Logan, this one's a pretty easy choice. Baylor ranked 7th in the country. They got a nice win streak going. I'm going to go and take them over the Sooners in this one and expect them to extend their win streak to 9 games.
Again, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this, Jackson. I like the pick a lot, but Oklahoma can pull off the upset victory over Baylor. Oklahoma shot well as of late and can put pressure on opposing defenses. I like the Sooners for this game.
That'll do it for women's basketball pick'em this week. As for the men's side, Zane and Gus are going to pick 2 great games on tap for Saturday. Gus, take it away.
Thank you, Jackson. For the first game in our pick'ems, we have West Virginia against the Texas Longhorns. Zane, who are you going to go with to take in this one?
I'm going to have to go with the Longhorns, but this game is going to be very, very close, with Texas only being ranked 12 and West Virginia being ranked 13.
I agree that it's going to be a very close game indeed, but I have to disagree with your choice. I like West Virginia to take the win behind the solid play of Deuce McBride and Derek Holder, who have both had tremendous seasons for the Mountaineers.
Well, we'll see. And tomorrow we also have KU Jayhawks playing against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Who do you have?
Well, this one I know may not sit well with everyone watching, but I think the Texas Tech Red Raiders have the Jayhawks number tomorrow. They definitely want to bounce back after losing to the Mountaineers in the last game. Give me Texas Tech.
Look, man, I think you're right with the Raiders wanting to bounce back, but I think the Jayhawks are on a roll and are going to continue their win streak to 5 games.
Well, like you said, we will wait to have to see the results, but we have reached the 2-minute warning. Last week, Gail and Gabe recapped fantasy football in the Fantasy Suite. This week, Emma House fills us in with everything NASCAR related with Emma's Pit Stop.
NASCAR season kicked off down in Daytona Beach this past week with the Super Bowl of stock car racing, the Daytona 500. As race fans settled in for 200 laps on the 2.5-mile track, a huge wreck, also known as the Big One, came early in lap 14, resulting in a 16-car pileup that took out top contenders such as Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, and Christopher Bell. After a lengthy 6-hour delay in the race due to weather, racing continued late at night and under the lights as drivers scrambled to finish. In a last-lap stunner, Michael McDowell of the number 34 took the checkered flag to earn his first career win after 14 years in the Cup Series. Previous race leaders and teammates Joey Logano of the number 22 and Brad Keselowski of the number 2 collided with each other and collected a handful of other drivers in a fiery crash, allowing McDowell to surge ahead and grab that lead. All drivers involved were okay and released from the infield care center later that night. This Sunday, NASCAR continues racing at Daytona, but this time on the road course. This track was introduced to the NASCAR circuit in August of 2020 due to COVID-19 restrictions in New York preventing NASCAR from using its more popular road course, Watkins Glen International Speedway. The Daytona road course pushes drivers' limits and abilities as it tests how good they are at making both left and right-hand turns. The Sunday favorite to win the road course is the 2020 NASCAR champion and race pole sitter Chase Elliott, who has 5 road course wins out of his 11 wins total, including 1 at the Daytona road course. Other drivers to keep an eye out for include Kyle Busch with 5 road course wins from Sonoma Raceway and Watkins Glen, Martin Truex Jr., who has gathered 4 road course wins from Sonoma Raceway and Watkins Glen, and Ryan Blaney with 1 road course win in Charlotte. You can catch all the action on Fox Sports this Sunday, February 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all we have for today's 2-minute warning. Back to you, Riley.
I hope you enjoyed today's show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at PlaymakersKU to stay up to date with live tweeting and highlights throughout the week. And remember, it's not about the game you played, but the plays you made. Rock chalk.